All right, more about this. Doctor Who, Scream of the Shalka, with starring Richard E. Grant is the Doctor. I made some notes from Wikipedia, which I have gone to a lot when I wanted to find out about somebody. That's usually where I end up going. Wikipedia. Usually actors. That's who I usually, or just people, celebrities. I go to Wikipedia and I find out some things about them, like what movies or shows they've been in. These actors. So I went to Wikipedia to look up something interesting, noteworthy about Richard E. Grant, and this is what I came up with. Okay, Richard E. Grant was born Richard Grant, so he moved his names around. Richard E. Grant is what his professional name is, but his birth name, Grant, was actually his middle name when he was born. And the E in Richard E. Grant was actually his last name. So he moved his names around. So the E in Richard E. Grant, what he got the E from, which is actually what his last name was when he was born, was, and I may not be pronouncing this right, Esther Heisen? Heisen? I don't know. It's spelled S-E, it's spelled, here's how it's spelled. Esterhuysen. So I don't know how to say that. It sounds nice, Esterhuysen, but I don't know. He was born on Richard E. Grant, or Richard Grant Esterhuysen, was born on May 5th, 1957. He is a Swazi English actor. He was born in Africa. In 1995, Grant starred as the titular character in Peter Capaldi's short film, Franz Kafka's It's a Wonderful Life. So I thought that was interesting. Peter Capaldi. I didn't know Peter Capaldi, well, I guess he directed it? It just says Peter Capaldi's short film. I didn't know Peter Capaldi made anything. I thought he just acted. So Peter Capaldi would later be the Doctor. I guess I could. That's Peter Capaldi. He was a good doctor. Somebody, somebody in the past, somebody compared him to me. Somebody told me he was kind of like the character House, kind of like the character on the show House. Oh, okay. So this is more about Peter Capaldi's short film, Franz Kafka's It's a Wonderful Life. The film won the 1995 Academy Award for Best Live Action Short Film. Kafka. I really liked his story, The Metamorphosis. That was good. In the comedy sketch, Doctor Who and the Curse of Fatal Death, he portrayed a version of the 10th Doctor referred to as the quite handsome Doctor. So this was directed by oh, where's his name? He was directed by a Moffat. It was directed by a Moffat, who would later be, I think, the producer of Doctor Who. One of those Moffats. It's not. I don't think it's Peter. Stephen. Okay, he would later be the executive producer of Doctor Who. Stephen Moffat. Okay, yeah, he did. I guess he directed the Doctor Who and the Curse of Fatal Death. That comedy sketch about Doctor Who. It had the guy from Mr. Bean in it, and I think Joanna Lumley was in it, and the actress who played the daughter on Absolutely Fabulous. Joanna Lumley was also from Absolutely Fabulous. So I liked the actors that were in it. Uh, so it was a comedy sketch about Doctor Who in the time between. Pretty sure it was in the time between of when um, Sylvester McCoy stopped being the Doctor when the show Doctor Who was canceled. Doctor Who was canceled, and they did the movie Doctor Who the movie with Paul McGann, and so it was in between that time and the time when they brought the show Doctor Who back with Christopher Eccleston. I think that was when this comedy sketch, Doctor Who and the Curse of Fatal Death. Yeah, I watched that maybe a month ago. I didn't really think it was that funny. I didn't really think it was that good. I guess you might have enjoyed it if because I didn't know about it when it was first released, when it was first made. So I just found out about it not that long ago. So maybe people who were desperate for something Doctor Who when there was nothing else, when there was no Doctor Who on television. So maybe people really enjoyed this comedy sketch at the time. But for me, I didn't think it was very funny. I thought it was gross. I thought it was gross. I thought it had some gross humor in it. Disgusting. So I don't have anything nice to say about it, other than I liked some of the people that were involved in it. Doctor Who and the Curse of Fatal Death. Okay. During the making of Scream of the Shalka, Richard E. Grant had intended to be the official ninth Doctor prior to the revival of Doctor Who on television. So who ended up being the ninth Doctor was Christopher Eccleston. That didn't. Richard E. Grant did not. He's not considered official. He's considered outside, like in a parallel world, kind of parallel universe of Doctor Who. He's not considered official. I watched a couple of interviews on YouTube of Richard E. Grant to see if I could have any more to say about him. Richard E. Grant gets violently sick when he drinks alcohol. In his first movie, I think it was called with Null and Me. So this last thing I said was kind of interesting, kind of funny, considering in his first movie he played. From what I heard about it, he played someone who drinks a lot. I haven't seen it. It looks like it might be a good movie. So it's kind of funny that he can't. He gets sick. He gets really sick when he drinks alcohol, but he played a character who drinks it a lot. And apparently the director of that movie wanted he wanted Richard E. Grant to be able to properly portray someone who was drunk, and so he made Richard E. Grant. Well, he told him anyway. He had him drink alcohol to know what it was like to be drunk, and then Richard E. Grant got really, really sick. But he's better now. It's okay. He's better now. So in this movie, another interesting thing to note, in this movie, which I think was called With Null and Me, Richard E. Grant starred alongside future Doctor Paul McGann, who is in the Doctor Who the movie. Paul McGann was really good in one of the Aliens movies. The third one, I think. Yeah, he was really good in that. His part got reduced though in the final version, but from what he was in Aliens 3, it was. I think I had to see it in one of the. I think I had to see it in either a deleted scene or it was in an uncut version of Aliens 3. Yeah, he was really good. Paul McGann. Really good acting in that movie. Richard E. Grant was also in the movies Spice World, Gosford Park, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and Logan. Richard E. Grant enjoyed being part of the last Star Wars movie, but was surprised at the level of secrecy during production. Richard E. Grant is friends with Steve Martin. They corresponded many times through fax and email. Okay. So that's a little bit about Richard E. Grant.